Does passive income have legal risks? It does. Let's talk about passive income a little bit. Passive income is a term that gets a lot of hype in get rich quick schemes, on YouTube videos, on social media. We all love the idea of not having to earn income, but instead being able to get it passively. I mean, wow, wouldn't that be fantastic to just have money rolling in and we don't have to work for it? Here's the catch with passive income. Passive income happens from two things. In my experience, only two things. It's either an investment like real estate or stocks or bonds or a loan that you're getting some sort of interest or dividend or payment from, or it's some sort of intellectual property that you put effort into or somebody put effort into, and now you are getting royalties or residuals or some sort of ongoing stream of money. I'll give you an example. Let's say you create an awesome YouTube video, and now that video starts generating views and it's monetized on YouTube. So now there are a bunch of ads being run on your video and YouTube starts sharing that money with you. Well, if that video continues to generate views over the next 10 years, you will continue to get ad revenue from those views for the next 10 years. Usually, when you create something, there needs to be some sort of ongoing maintenance of that thing in order to keep the money coming in. For example, if an author writes a book, and let's say that book does well, usually sales dwindle off over time. And the author needs to write another book and do more publicity and do social media. And by the author having that ongoing activity, it continues to generate money from the book. A lot of times when people online are talking about passive income opportunities, they are not giving full attention to the fact that first, you have to create something in the beginning, which takes a lot of work, and you're not getting paid for that. The income is coming over time. So there's that upfront investment in creating something. And then second, usually people who talk about passive income fail to remind you about how much maintenance is required to keep the income coming in. Even if you have money invested in the market, you generally need to manage that or pay somebody to manage it on your behalf. Now, I have worked with people who inherited trust funds. And so essentially, there is money earned by somebody else in their family that continues to get paid out to them. That is passive income. But keep in mind, it was earned by somebody at some point. I have never, ever seen passive income that didn't come from either some sort of asset like money or real estate or something that was all first earned and then generated a stream of income, or intellectual property that was created and then generated a stream of income. So in my mind, you might even argue there is no such thing as passive income. There is a stream of income that you can get when you do a lot of work for free and have good success, or you build up a lot of wealth through hard work and then you invest that and have a stream of income. I think it might be more fair to say income can be passive once you have done a substantial investment, either building assets or intellectual property that creates a stream of income. But keep in mind, that involves a lot of work up front and no guarantee of payout. It really depends on the success of your investment or your intellectual property. And you might be saying, what am I talking about with intellectual property? Movies, songs, music, paintings, books, audiobooks, images, photography, a play, anything with creative value that people will pay for involves a lot of investment in creating it up front, and then the compensation ultimately comes later. Go ahead and call it passive income if you want, but it sure wasn't passive in the beginning. You're quite active in creating that. So that answers the question of what is passive income. Let's now talk about, does passive income have legal risks? Yes, it does, because what happens if whoever you're entrusting to manage that asset that is generating the income doesn't come through for you? What if they breach the agreement? What if somebody infringes your intellectual property rights? So let's say, for example, you write a song, and let's say it's just a timeless masterpiece. This song gets played every year at some sort of event, and you have an opportunity to get royalties whenever that song is played. Well, you're going to have to pay somebody to monitor when the song is played, send cease and desist letters on your behalf when they've infringed your rights, and send demands for payment when you're not getting paid for the use of your song. So typically you're going to hire somebody who will manage your music rights. And that there are big companies throughout the United States that handle that. So there's going to be some sort of fee. Other people, though, may not have a full industry built around managing your intellectual property rights. So you might need to manage them yourself, or occasionally Google and see if somebody is infringing your rights. You might need to have an attorney on file who can send cease and desist letters from time to time. Also, if you have intellectual property that you're letting other people use in exchange for money, that's called a license. License just means permission. You're giving somebody permission or a license to use your intellectual property. And you typically do that in exchange for an agreement to get paid. So you need to have a license written up. It's a legal document that says, I'm giving you permission to use this, and here's how much you have to pay me. And then there is a process of enforcing that. So there are a lot of important parts to protect your passive income. And usually it involves having an attorney involved in licensing, copyright, trademark, and contracts to ensure that whatever is generating your passive income is protected from an intellectual property standpoint, and you are properly getting paid in accordance with the agreements that you've set up. All right, that does it for today. I'd love to know if you find this helpful. And by the way, if you have other questions, feel free to add them in the comments section below. We will grab those and use those for future live sessions. You can also submit questions by email or using the form in the description below. I'm Aaron Hall, an attorney for business owners and entrepreneurial companies. This has been an educational broadcast. As always, all these issues I encourage you to use as topics to discuss with your attorney, not as a replacement for an attorney. This is educational information to empower you to avoid problems, establish a great company, and hopefully have a better life. You can find out more about me at aaronhall.com.